What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Amir Khan and Kell Brook. You know, these guys have been on a pathway, a journey to fight each other for the last 5, 6 years, possibly at least 5 or 6 years. And they're both UK fighters. They're both popular fighters. I think Amir Khan has the edge because Amir Khan has fought more times in the U.S. He's more of a known star. He has a country behind him. Or refrain, he has countries behind him because he's really big in Dubai and Pakistan, where his native people are from. Um, you know, and these guys have been talking back and forth, and of course, Eddie Hearn is trying to get this fight together for them. And in a interview, he was brutally honest about what what needs to be done to make this fight happen. And the deal is that Amir Khan wants it at 147. Kell Brook now fights at 154. Kell Brook was having problems making weight at 147, and 154 is more suitable for him. And Amir Khan is not trying to bend that particular concept. However, he has a rematch rehydration clause also. So, Amir Khan is really making it harder to get this fight done. And it's unfortunate because these two guys need to fight. And Amir Khan is one of those guys that he has always been a legacy chaser. He's always wanted those big fights and never got those big fights, and he's not alone in this generation, like Keith Thurman, he wanted the Pacquiao fight. He definitely wanted the Mayweather fight. It didn't happen. Amir Khan wanted the Pacquiao fight. He wanted the Mayweather fight. It didn't happen. And a lot of these guys need to realize that those particular fighters like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, they've been fighting for the last 2 decades. Okay, these guys are on their way out. Floyd's on it. He's been out. Okay. Manny Pacquiao is on his way out after these 2 fights because he's trying to do a John Elway. He's trying to make his legacy stick. He's attempting the Tony Bellew. He's trying to make the last 2 fights count for his career so he can sell off in the sunset and be comfortable with how his career went, okay? And go out with a bang, in other words. So, he can't be in line to fight everyone. And Pacquiao doesn't really want to fight Amir Khan. He showed interest that he doesn't. He wants another Mayweather fight because that's in his era, which I can understand that. I can understand Manny Pacquiao signing with PBC just to get that fight with Mayweather. And I hope it happens for him. I really do. But as far as Amir Khan needs to worry about building his own legacy. He shouldn't worry about trying to fight the best. I think he should stop ignoring Kell Brook. But I think Kell Brook is in a position like Deontay Wilder. He has to bend. He has to agree to things that he shouldn't do or things that are not benefiting for him because he needs to do that to get this fight because this fight is about legacy. Okay. I understand his argument. His argument is simple. Hey, you went up to 155 to fight Canelo, and that wasn't for a championship bout at all. Canelo wasn't a champ. You should understand that, guys. He wasn't a champ at 155. That was just his own weight class that WBC, Oscar De La Hoya, that all these guys allowed him to have. All right, so that was not for a belt. Everyone wanted to fight Canelo because Canelo was the cash cow. Canelo was the top dog. So, Amir Khan could make 155, but he can't make 154. I think that's kind of weird too. However, Amir Khan is the guy claiming the A side on this situation because of the clout he has, is because of the guys that he's actually fought, because he did get the fight with Canelo. He did get that fight. So, he was in that case, legacy chasing paid off. You know what I mean? But he never got a fight like that again. And I think now he should just come down to reality, honestly, for Amir Khan and fight Kell Brook, because if he doesn't fight the man in his backyard, he won't really get credit from the British fans like he needs or like he should have. And, he will go down in history never fighting Amir Khan. Imagine Mayweather never fighting Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Floyd knew he could not get out of the sport without fighting the guy or the second guy, or, now he's by the second guy by default, but he couldn't get out of here fighting the other pound for pound welterweight champion. It just wasn't going to happen, and he knew that. As much as he tried to discredit Pacquiao or whatever, that wouldn't have happened. He would have eventually had to fight Pacquiao. So let's compare this to this situation. Amir Khan has to fight Kell Brook. If he doesn't fight Kell Brook, he's going to always be scoring for that, and he has nobody to blame but himself. So I think Kell Brook needs to make this fight happen. I think he needs to admit to the terms, agree to these terms, sign the contract, and make this fight happen. Because a lot of times when you're on the B side, a lot of these things are shitty. You know what I mean? A lot of these demands, they're not ideal. They're not. A rehydration clause. What is that? Who would care if he made the weight? Let him fight. You know what I mean? But those are just things to make fights uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And those are little tricks that A side does versus B side. And it's real unfortunate, man. And a lot of times, when you are a businessman and you're doing, should I say, good business, or, really clever business, you throw things in there that discredits a fighter. But I'm like this. I've always been a guy and I've always had this type of thought and thinking, why would you want a fighter not at his best? You know what I mean? Have you guys ever seen the movie Gladiator? Maxus Decimus Aurelius, you know what I mean? Maximus was like the guy, that he went through all kind of odds. He beat all types of people in crazy situations. And the prince knew it, played by Joaquin Phoenix, right? And he knew that, well, you eventually have to fight him. So he went in there and then stabbed him in the side, pierced him in the side, in the lung. So, he would eventually be crippled. You know what I mean? So he would have that advantage. I think of that as a, comparison to what's going on now, where Kell Brook, knowing he was having trouble making weight at 147, so he went to 154 and he feels a lot stronger. So he says, and, Amir Khan knowing that and then not letting him rehydrate up to his weight, his normal natural weight after rehydration. You know what I'm saying? So he still has to starch himself, so it'll make him weak of a fighter. And I don't understand that. If I'm Amir Khan, why don't I have the thought process of, wait, no, I want this guy to make 147. I don't care how big he gets. I don't care if he balloons up, as long as he made the 147-pound weight, because I want this guy at his best. He wanted Canelo at his best. Canelo couldn't make 154 anymore. Or let's put it this way. He was having trouble making 154. That's why he was making 155, because he wasn't ready to go to middleweight, because we knew what was waiting up there for him, right? But he was having trouble at 154, so he created that weight class. Even in the Angulo fight, he had to pay Angulo, I think it was $200,000, because he couldn't make the 154 limit. So, that tells you a little backstory on that. And then from that point on, he's been fighting at 155. Okay. So I think that, but I think Kell Brook should do it just to get the fight happening. You know what I mean? I just don't want that excuse, or I don't want that to be a reason why, if Kell Brook loses, the fight, that would be one of the, hey, I was starched, you know what I mean? I wasn't at myself, and, the hydration clause killed me and I shouldn't have took the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's a lot of ways how it'll turn out. I'm just worried about, if the fight does happen, what the end result will be. Will the quality of the fight be worth a damn? Because Kell Brook is now not at his best where Amir Khan is. That wouldn't be fair. You know what I mean? But again, I think sacrifices need to happen in order to legacy to be made, history to be made, destiny to be made. And these guys, they eventually have to fight each other. They do. You know what I mean? Because these guys go hand in hand with their own destiny. They need to respect the era they're in and make this fight happen. But anyway, I'll leave the link of the interview in the description box with Eddie Hearn. You guys tell me what you think about this video, about these two guys. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.